Welcome to a place where fear has no power, struggles become stepping stones, and discipline builds the life you've been dreaming of. Here, we don't just talk about success, we live it one choice at a time. You're about to discover how faith can anchor you in the storm, how embracing challenges can turn you into something unbreakable, and why your habits are the key to your freedom. You'll learn the power of surrounding yourself with people who lift you higher, how gratitude can shift your entire perspective, and why moving forward, no matter how slow, is the secret to winning in life. If you're ready to stop surviving and start thriving, you're in the right place. This is your moment. Let's go to work. When the storms of life roll in, you've got two choices. You can sink into fear, or you can stand on faith. Fear will tell you the storm is too big, the waves are too high, and you're not strong enough to make it through. Faith says, I know the storm is real, but my anchor is stronger than any wind that blows against me. Fear wants you to look at the size of the problem. Faith wants you to look at the size of the one who's carrying you through it. I've learned something. Fear is loud, but it's a liar. It'll shout in your ear, it'll magnify the worst possible outcome, and it'll convince you to give up before you even try. But faith doesn't need to scream. Faith is steady, it's quiet confidence, it's that unshakable knowing deep inside that says, I'm going to make it. I might bend, but I won't break. Here's the thing, faith isn't pretending the trouble isn't there. It's not about closing your eyes and ignoring the reality. Faith is looking at the storm dead in the eye and saying, I see you, but you don't scare me. I know who I am, I know where I'm going, and I know I'm not alone in this fight. That's the power of faith over fear. And let me tell you, life will test you. You'll have nights when you can't sleep because the weight on your shoulders feels too heavy. You'll have days when the phone call comes, the news hits, and suddenly the ground beneath your feet feels like it's cracking. That's when fear tries to move in, tries to wrap itself around your mind. But if you let faith speak first, fear has no room to grow. Faith says, I've been through worse, and I'm still here. Faith says, what's meant for me is greater than what's against me. Faith says, this storm isn't the end, it's just the middle of my story. Sometimes people think they have to feel strong to have faith, but faith isn't a feeling, it's a decision. It's a choice you make every single day, sometimes every single hour, to trust that there's a way forward even when you can't see it. And every time you choose faith over fear, you get stronger. Every time you refuse to bow down to the panic in your head, you take back your power. Now hear me, this doesn't mean the fear disappears overnight. Fear might still whisper in your ear, but when you've got faith, those whispers lose their grip. You can hear them without obeying them. You can acknowledge the storm without letting it control the direction of your ship. Some of you right now, you're facing storms you didn't see coming, storms you didn't ask for. Maybe you lost someone, maybe you lost a job, maybe your dream feels like it's slipping through your hands. And you're thinking, I don't know how I'm going to make it through this. That's when you need to remember, your faith isn't based on the size of the challenge, it's based on the strength that's already in you. You've been through hard days before, and yet here you are. You've survived nights you thought would break you, and yet here you are. That's proof that you're stronger than you think, proof that you've got more in you than fear will ever admit. The truth is, fear is a thief. It steals your peace before anything bad has even happened. It robs you of today because it wants you worried about tomorrow. But faith is a protector. Faith covers your mind. It shields your heart. It keeps your vision clear so you can see past the storm and aim for the shore. And you've got to practice it. You've got to feed it. Faith grows when you remind yourself of the victories you've already seen, when you speak life over your situation, when you surround yourself with people who remind you who you are. You can't starve your faith and expect it to carry you through tough times. So the next time fear knocks, let faith answer the door. Stand tall, speak with authority. Tell that fear you can't live here anymore. Because once you've chosen faith, you've already decided the storm won't win. And that's how you make it through. Struggle is not your enemy, it's your teacher. Too many people spend their lives running from it, hiding from it, wishing it away, when in reality, the very thing you're avoiding might be the thing that's going to shape you into who you were meant to be. Life doesn't get easier just because you want it to. It gets better when you decide to stop running from the fire and start walking through it. The truth is, comfort doesn't create growth. If you stay in the safe zone, you'll never discover what's inside of you. It's the pressure, the resistance, the heat of the moment that reveals your strength. You can't become a diamond without being under pressure. You can't become refined without being tested. And you can't know what you're truly made of until life squeezes you and you decide to fight instead of fold. See, everybody loves the success, the recognition, the applause. But very few people want the process it takes to get there. The process is messy, it's lonely, it's full of moments where you question yourself, where you wonder if you're even moving in the right direction. But it's in those moments of doubt that character is built. It's in those moments that your perseverance grows muscles. The struggle is not there to break you. It's there to shape you. It's a chiseling process. It's removing what you don't need, the fear, the pride, the impatience, and leaving behind only the best of you. You might not see it while you're in it, but one day you'll look back and realize the challenge that once felt like it was going to destroy you was the very thing that prepared you for the opportunity you have now. And I get it. Nobody wakes up excited for a struggle. Nobody asks for heartbreak, setbacks, or loss. But sometimes the things you didn't ask for are the things you needed most. Sometimes the situation you thought was holding you back was actually pushing you forward. You see, there's a difference between pain that breaks you and pain that builds you. Pain that breaks you is when you give up, when you let bitterness settle in, when you let the weight of it convince you there's no point in trying. But pain that builds you, that's when you decide, I'm going to take this and turn it into fuel. I'm going to let this sharpen me, make me wiser, make me stronger, make me ready for the next season of my life. When you embrace the struggle, you take away its power to control you. You stop being a victim of your circumstances, and you become the architect of your response. And that's where real power is, not in avoiding the storms, but in learning how to stand in the middle of one and still move forward. Think about it. Every hero you've ever admired didn't get there by skipping the hard parts. They got there because they faced the hard parts head on. They let the struggle teach them discipline. They let failure teach them humility. They let rejection teach them persistence. And they understood that every no, every delay, every setback was part of the preparation. So if you're in a struggle right now, don't despise it, learn from it. Ask yourself, what is this moment trying to teach me? What part of me is being strengthened right now? Because as much as it hurts, one day you'll thank the struggle for what it made you. You'll thank it for building a resilience in you that no amount of comfort could have given. You are not just going through this, you are growing through this, and when you understand that, you stop resenting the fight. You start realizing that the more life pushes against you, the more you push back. And each time you push back, you get stronger. The struggle is your training ground. It's your classroom. It's the gym where you're building the kind of endurance you'll need for the bigger blessings ahead. And when you come out the other side, you'll not only have survived, you'll have become someone you never could have been without it. That's why you can't run from it. You can't quit halfway. You can't let the pressure scare you. Because pressure is a privilege, it means you're being trusted with growth. It means there's something in you worth refining. And when you embrace it fully, when you stop seeing it as punishment and start seeing it as preparation, you'll find out the struggle wasn't there to stop you. It was there to reveal you. Discipline is not a prison. It's the key that unlocks your freedom. People hear the word and think it means restriction, limitation, or living under constant rules. But the truth is, discipline is the thing that will set you free when everything else in life tries to trap you. Your future isn't determined by what you wish for, or even what you dream about. It's determined by what you consistently do. Your habits, the The small decisions you make every single day, they are building your life brick by brick. And here's the reality: discipline doesn't always feel good. It's not about doing what's easy, it's about doing what's necessary, even when every part of you would rather take the shortcut. It's waking up when you'd rather sleep in. It's saying no to what's convenient so you can say yes to what's worth it. It's putting in the work even when nobody's watching, even when nobody's clapping for you. See, talent can give you a head start, but discipline will keep you in the race. Motivation can get you moving, but discipline will keep you moving long after the motivation runs out. Because motivation is a feeling. It comes and goes. Discipline is a commitment. It stays no matter how you feel. And let me tell you, the times when discipline feels the hardest, that's when it's doing the most for you. It's easy to keep going when things are exciting, when progress is visible, when people are praising you. But discipline is forged in those quiet, lonely hours when it's just you and the grind, when there's no reward in sight, when there's no one to push you but yourself. That's where real growth happens. The reason discipline leads to freedom is simple. When you control your habits stop controlling you. When you decide how you spend your time stops deciding for you. You don't become a slave to temptation, distraction, or procrastination. You take ownership of your life, and that's real freedom. Think about the opposite, lack of discipline. It feels good in the moment, but it traps you in the long run. You put off the work today, and tomorrow you're buried in it. You spend without control, and later you're drowning in debt. You neglect your health, and years later you're paying the price. Freedom without discipline is just a slow road to bondage. Discipline is what allows you to choose long-term fulfillment over short-term comfort. It's what helps you say, I'm willing to hurt now so I can heal later. I'm willing to sacrifice now so I can succeed later. And if you stick with it, one day you wake up realizing you've built a life where you're not just surviving, you're thriving, and it's because you made those daily choices when they were the hardest to make. Now, some people will tell you, I can't be disciplined because I'm not naturally like that. But discipline isn't about personality, it's about decision. You don't have to be born disciplined. You build discipline the same way you build muscle, by using it. You start with small commitments, you follow through, you fail sometimes, but you don't quit. And over time, you start trusting yourself, and that trust fuels even greater discipline. And don't think for a second that discipline means you never rest, never enjoy yourself, never take a break. In fact, it's the opposite. Discipline is what creates space for true rest, because when you've handled your business, you can actually relax without guilt. You can enjoy the rewards because you've put in the work. Every great achievement you've ever admired came from discipline. Every athlete, every leader, every artist who made an impact, they didn't just show up when they felt like it. They showed up every day, no matter how they felt. They trained when they were tired. They practiced when they were frustrated. They kept going when the results were slow. That's the price of greatness, and discipline is how you pay it. So if you want real freedom, freedom from regret, freedom from missed opportunities, freedom from living less than you're capable of, you've got to commit to discipline. Decide who you want to be, then show up as that person every single day, whether you feel like it or not. Because discipline isn't just about building a future you want. It's about building a version of yourself that can handle it when it arrives. And when you become that person, you won't just have freedom, you'll have earned it. Who you spend your time with is shaping your life more than you probably realize. The people you walk with aren't just part of your journey. They're helping decide where that journey leads. You can have all the dreams in the world, all the ambition in your heart. But if you're walking with people who don't believe in themselves, don't push themselves, don't want more out of life, They will pull you down to their level before you ever pull them up to yours. Energy is contagious. You can't spend every day surrounded by negativity and expect to stay positive. You can't be in the company of people who settle for less and expect to keep reaching for more. The truth is, your circle is either feeding your growth or feeding your doubt. And if you don't choose wisely, you might not even realize you're headed in the wrong direction until it's too late. Winners have a different way of thinking. They don't just talk about problems, they focus on solutions. They don't make excuses, they take responsibility. They don't just hope life works out, they put in the work to make it happen. And when you're around people like that, it starts to rub off on you. Their drive, their discipline, their determination. It challenges you to raise your own standards. But here's the part most people miss. Staying around winners isn't always comfortable. Winners will hold you accountable. They'll call you out when you're slacking. They'll push you to do more than you think you can do. They won't let you hide behind excuses or settle for good enough. And that can feel uncomfortable, even frustrating at times. But if you can handle that, if you can accept the push, you'll find yourself growing in ways you never imagined. On the other hand, if you surround yourself with people who have no vision, no discipline, no hunger, you'll find it's a lot easier to be lazy, to quit, to lower your expectations. You won't feel challenged, you'll feel safe. But that safety is a trap. It keeps you exactly where you are year after year, while life passes you by. Sometimes the hardest part about staying around winners is that it requires you to let go of people you care about, people you've known for years, because their mindset no longer matches where you're headed. That's not about thinking you're better than anyone else. It's about protecting your future. It's about understanding that your time, your energy, your focus, those are investments, and you have to invest them where they're going to grow. Think about this. If you want to be healthier, you spend time with people who take care of their bodies. If you want to build wealth, you spend time with people who understand money. If you want to strengthen your faith, you spend time with people who live by it. It's the same in every area of life. Proximity matters. You can't hope to go higher while walking with people who are comfortable staying low. Winners don't just inspire you, they challenge your excuses. They make you see that what you thought was good enough isn't your best. They remind you that your potential is bigger than your current reality. And sometimes just being in the presence of people who are doing more makes you realize you can do more too. So you have to ask yourself, who am I walking with? Who is influencing my mindset? Who is shaping my habits? Because whether you realize it or not, you are becoming like the people you spend the most time with. That's not just a saying, it's a truth that's been proven over and over again. The right people will make you believe in yourself on the days you feel like quitting. They'll see the greatness in you when you can't see it in yourself. They'll remind you why you started when you've forgotten, but the wrong people, they'll drain you, distract you, and detour you from your purpose. This isn't about being perfect. It's about being intentional. It's about deciding that your circle is going to match your vision. Because if you keep walking with winners, sooner or later, you'll find yourself becoming one. Gratitude will change the way you see everything. It's easy to be thankful when life is going your way. When the bills are paid, the relationships are strong, the opportunities are coming in. But real gratitude, the kind that transforms you, shows up in the dark nights, when nothing seems to be working, when you're carrying more than you think you can handle, when the last thing you feel like doing is saying thank you. Most people wait for something good to happen before they feel grateful, but gratitude isn't about waiting, it's about deciding. It's about finding something, even the smallest thing, that you can appreciate right now, no matter how heavy the situation feels. Because when you choose gratitude in the middle of the storm, you're telling life, you can throw what you want at me, but you can't take away my ability to see the good. The power of gratitude is in how it shifts your perspective. The situation might not change immediately, but you will. Gratitude makes you stop staring at the problem long enough to see the possibilities. It takes your focus off what's missing and puts it on what's still here. And sometimes that's the exact shift you need to get through the next day. When you practice gratitude, you train your mind to notice what's right instead of only seeing what's wrong. You start catching moments you would have missed. The kindness of a stranger, the friend who calls at the right time, the simple fact that you woke up this morning with another chance to try again. These things might seem small, but they're not. They're proof that even in the darkest nights, light still exists if you're willing to look for it. It's not about denying the pain or pretending everything's fine when it's not. Gratitude isn't about ignoring reality. It's about refusing to let the pain define all of it. You can acknowledge the hurt and still choose to see the beauty that remains. You can admit that life is hard and still find something worth holding on to. When you make gratitude a habit, it becomes a source of strength. On the days when you feel like quitting, gratitude will remind you of how far you've already come. On the days when fear creeps in, gratitude will remind you of the times you've made it through before. On the days when you feel empty, gratitude will fill you with perspective, reminding you that even if you don't have everything you want, you still have something worth fighting for. And here's the thing, gratitude is contagious. When you live with a thankful heart, you affect the people around you. You shift the atmosphere. You become someone who brings light into dark places, hope into hopeless situations. And without even realizing it, you start to inspire others to look for their own reasons to be thankful. There will be times when finding something to be grateful for feels impossible. Maybe the loss is too fresh, the disappointment too deep. In those moments, don't force yourself to feel happy. Just start with the smallest step. One breath, one kind word, one memory of a time you laughed so hard you couldn't breathe. Gratitude grows when you feed it, and even the smallest seed can break through the hardest ground. Sometimes we think gratitude is for when we've arrived at the life we want. But the truth is, gratitude is part of the process that gets us there. It keeps our hearts soft. It keeps us from becoming bitter. It keeps us focused on what matters so that when the breakthrough comes, we're ready to receive it without forgetting where we came from. And the more you practice it, the more you'll realize it's not just about feeling thankful, it's about living thankful. It's speaking words of appreciation to the people in your life. It's noticing the beauty in things you used to walk past without seeing. It's letting your heart be open enough to receive the good, even in seasons when the bad feels louder. Gratitude won't make all your problems disappear, but it will make you stronger than your problems. It will remind you that no matter how dark it gets, there's always something to hold on to, and as long as you can hold on to that, you're not defeated. Forward is forward, no matter how slow it feels. Too many people think progress only counts if it's big, fast, or flashy. But the truth is, the people who win in life aren't the ones who sprint the hardest for a week. They're the ones who take one step, then another, even on the days they feel like standing still. Consistency beats speed every single time. Life has a way of making you want to stop. The setbacks pile up. The results don't come when you thought they would. The excitement you felt in the beginning fades, and the grind starts to feel heavier than the dream. That's when you've got to remind yourself, you don't have to take a giant leap today, but you do have to take a step. Even the smallest step keeps you in the fight. Sometimes the pace you want isn't the pace you get. You might be looking around, seeing other people move faster, achieve more, and it can make you feel like you're falling behind. But remember, this isn't a race against anyone else. This is your journey, your timing, your growth. If you're moving forward even an inch at a time, you're still winning. The danger is in standing still. When you stop moving, it's harder to start again. Momentum is a gift, but it's a fragile one. It's built through consistent action. That's why you can't afford to wait for the perfect moment, the perfect plan, or the perfect conditions. Start where you are, with what you have, and trust that each small step is building something bigger than you can see right now. And don't underestimate what those small steps can do. 1 page a day turns into a finished book. 10 minutes of practice a day turns into mastery. 1 healthy choice at a time turns into a stronger body. You don't see the change right away, but it's happening under the surface, stacking up until one day it breaks through, and everyone else calls it overnight success. But you'll know it wasn't overnight. It was every day. There will be days when your progress feels invisible. You'll be tempted to quit because you can't see the payoff. That's when you have to trust the process. Think of it like planting a seed. You water it, you care for it, you keep showing up even though there's nothing to show for it yet. But underground, things are happening, roots are forming, growth is taking place where you can't see it. And if you keep going, the results will come. Sometimes you'll take a step and stumble. Sometimes you'll take a step and end up 2 steps back. That's part of it. Progress is not a straight line. It's messy, unpredictable, full of turns you didn't plan for. But as long as you keep moving forward, you're still closer than you were yesterday. There's a strength that comes from refusing to stop. Every time life knocks you down and you get back up, you build resilience. Every time you keep going when it would be easier to quit, you prove to yourself that you can. And once you know you can, nothing can take that from you. The truth is, success isn't about being the fastest or the most talented. It's about being the one who refuses to stand still. It's about showing up when it's hard, when it's boring, when it feels like no one's watching. Because 1 step forward every day doesn't just get you closer to your goal. It changes you in the process. So if today feels slow, if the road ahead feels long, don't let that stop you. Take the step you can take today. Then take another tomorrow and another after that. Before you know it, you'll look back and realize you're standing in a place you once only dreamed of reaching. And it all happened because you didn't stop moving. If this message lit a fire in you, don't let it fade. Take it with you. Keep choosing faith, embracing the struggle, and building discipline every single day. Surround yourself with winners, live with gratitude, and just keep moving forward. If you're ready for more inspiration like this, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the bell so you never miss a moment that can change your life. Your breakthrough is waiting. Stay in the fight, and I'll see you in the next one.